Hi guys, James from Mentor Motorsport here again, and today we're going to have a look at my tin tops race from Donington Park last weekend. Now, if you haven't already seen, I've posted some action from the Open Series, which Dad and I raced in on the Sunday. I've uploaded the two just raw footage, 20-minute races each. But today we're going to have a look at what happened in tin tops. We're actually going to start with a bit of a moment I had in qualifying, and then we will cut straight into some highlights from the race. So let's get straight into it. And we're off. So this is one of my laps in qualifying. It had already been a bit of a messy session, lots and lots of yellow flags. Very difficult to find a clear lap. There was about 47 cars out there, and then this happened. Absolute pancaka, very wet grass. Luckily some sticky gravel to slow me down, and actually managed to keep it out of the gravel. That's the first time I've ever touched a gravel trap since I started racing in 2018. And at this exact moment I was convinced I was going to go and dig into something, I don't know, dig into the grass, dig into the gravel at 90 degrees to the track there. As soon as I got at that angle, I thought, I think I can fight this down the hill. So lots and lots of steering, lot going on. And at this point I'm just thinking, just try and keep it out of the gravel, just keep to the right hand side, even though the grass is turning into a V. The gravel actually slowed me down and I could get more control of the car at this stage. But as soon as I touched the tarmac, the car sort of spat to the right as if to go back onto the racing line in the apex. So it was fun in the end. No real dramas. So we qualified a bit out of position. I think I ended up as P24. Knew there was more time in the car, and this is the start of the race. Now, I'd been researching the best way to do this, and I held back a little bit and focused on those lights and just had the throttle and the gears just at exactly the right level just to nail that start. Now, I got a very good launch and overtook a few rows on the grid, but being on the outside I was a little bit cautious into Redgate. Very wide there, but you can't really see when there's cars on my inside. So it's all about just surviving the craner curves. I feel like once you're going up the hill of Donington Park, things kind of space out a little bit. You get more of a sense of the grip. And yeah, it's all kind of a bit side by side and so much slower than on a hot lap. So there's been no dramas up ahead. Everyone's driving pretty well. Regretted how much curb I took up through there, and Lee's gone through in the MG, but now I'm kind of ready to try and attack and see if I can get any of those positions back. This is always a great corner because it's blind on the apex, especially when you've got a car sitting right there. And yeah, now it's just a drag race down the back straight. Seem to always end up on the same piece of tarmac as that MG. Yeah, no one really tries an out-braking move into that chicane on the first lap, but again, just need to get used to what you've got underneath you and the tyres and temperatures. Very similar power levels with Lee, so it's very hard to kind of out-drag each other or get away from each other on the straights. Now we've got a bit of a good battle with this Fiesta. You just hear me hesitating on the throttle. It's not easy being right up someone's backside through there because you need your reference points on the track. So it's just trying to see where I can get really, but I've lost out a little bit through there. Lee was very quick through the craner curves and up the hill all weekend, so I know I've got a bit of work to do there to kind of find a bit of lap time. But I'm pretty good through these corners. That's McLean's and Coppice, I believe. Can usually carry quite a lot of speed in this car. So again, I'm kind of back on them. this stage I'm thinking, am I going to be able to outbrake him down the outside? But if you can see in my rear view mirror, he is there on the apex, and we managed to get through side by side, which is pretty cool. No need to start, whacking door handles, and then we've got Clio in the mix as well. So it's good racing on the first couple of laps, all pretty clean and aggressive enough to make it fun. So I've still got that Fiesta on my inside. I know if I take a wider line there, I should be able to sweep by, and I think you can just see in the mirror there, I've just got past him. Really gutted I didn't put the rear view camera in for this one, because there's as much action going on behind me as there is, well, up ahead, to be honest. Really wide through there, that was not good, so just basically get on the power and use all the curb and green stuff on the outside. But yeah, it's all about making that apex to get on the power early. Really love this section. You just get on the power early and just maximise the width of this circuit. The curbs are very flat, so you can use them. But that wasn't a great example. But with that curb on the right hand side of Coppice, you need to be careful because you want to touch it to reduce the line, but there is a bit of a bump right on the inside of that curb, and I was finding if I was too aggressive, the car would start skipping through there, and it kind of, here we go, managed to get past one of the Odell Fiesta STs that's obviously gone in side by side and had to jam on the brakes, so that was another position gained. But yeah, trying to keep up with these guys were very quick. Snetterton, and yeah, I'm just a little bit off the pace with these two, so hard to make an impact over an entire lap when I actually start dropping back a little bit, so my battles will come elsewhere in the field. So this is some out of position cars coming back through the field. This Civic caught me up and was all over me for a lap, so there wasn't a lot I was going to do there. And then Peter parking, absolute rocket down the straight. So all I can do is just try and follow these guys and see how long I can try and keep up for. But it's very difficult. There's certain parts of the track where I'm pretty good value against them, but again, not overall. Around the whole lap, you can see they're just flying down the straights. And on these straights, I'm thinking, right, what am I going to do for the next race to get more power? I need to be able to just keep up with these guys. You start mentally spending the money whilst you're racing. I would love to know the best way to take that corner, because there's people that touch the brakes, there's people that just lift. The spin in qualifying was me intentionally pressing the throttle before I turned in to try and carry more speed, and obviously the car went straight round. There goes Carl Chambers making his comeback after starting in the pit lane. Again, not a lot I can do about him, so I'm not going to overly aggressively defend from him. Just got to try and follow them and see what I can do. But see, I'm not too bad in the corners, but yeah, they can pull away down those long straights at Donington, so got to pick your battles. Try and avoid the tyres on each side. So Carl actually ducked into the pit lane as soon as the pit window opened. This is just a bit of lapping going on. So this is the Clio that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm sure that Clio spun off on the green flag lap, and that's what caused us to have the red flag. And then I believe he took the start. Obviously I lapped him there, and then he got black flagged because he shouldn't have gone out. Should have been a reserve only. So that was all a bit confusing. So here we go. I've now got my 2-minute pit stop. Now at Snetterton, I got the 35-second penalty for doing a 1 minute 55 pit stop. So we're absolutely, we've got 2 timers now. I've got 1 on the steering wheel, so I've made a mental note coming into the pit lane. Gary's got one timer, and we're just having a debate about how many seconds it's going to take to get down to that pit exit line. So we kind of go for 5 to 7 seconds, and I believe this pit stop was 2 minutes 05. So there is still some time to be gained there, but so much better than getting a 35-second penalty. So I've come straight out, and again, if I had the rear-facing camera, you would see that I've now got one of the other Odell Fiesta STs right up behind me. So from a mental point of view, I'm thinking, right, I just need to get on it straight away. There's absolutely no time to kind of build up into this second stint. You just need to use all available grip, all available aggression, and just go for it. And that is exactly what I do, and I basically now settle in. We're at the exact halfway point of the race, so settling into a 20-minute stint of just head down qualifying laps, no mistakes, and basically just pull off a defensive drive just to hold this position. So I'll always put a rear-facing camera in after races like this, because afterwards I was so happy with the drive. It was hard to kind of show people why, because it just looks like driving. But there were certain points of the track where he was much quicker, so he would be all over me out of this chicane, and I would have to move the car across the track, so either hold the inside line to stop him from going for a dive down the inside, and then just move it back to the racing line. So we've got the Saxo off there. Had a few dramas over the weekend, saw 3 incidents down the crater curves, unfortunately pulling out of the race there. But yeah, the Fiesta was much quicker through this whole first section of the lap, and then from here onwards I was able to kind of pull up the hill quite quickly. Again, very quick through, is it McLean's or McLaren? I can't actually remember, I think it's McLean's. The next right-hander, and then the right of Coppice. Was just able to, I'm a bit under pressure there, so I'm kind of a bit wide. But yeah, generally speaking, able to carry pretty good speed through here, and that would give me enough of a gap to get back to the pit straight, and then the process just repeated over and over again. Yeah, not too bad through there, and the car's got pretty good horsepower, so manage the gap. It's amazing how much it clouded over as well, because if you look at the first piece of footage, it's a bright blue sunny day, and all of a sudden it's Stetson all over again. It's grey and dull. But basically this 20-minute battle, so there's me moving just a little bit on the straight, just to kind of put him off any kind of don't do anything stupid. Yeah, just basically trying to put him off having any late dives, and now I'm just trying to manage the traffic. You always feel like you're catching a car at an awkward position, but I feel like going down the outside there gives me the inside for the craner curves, and of course he's now got to do the same thing as well. So just a lot of cat and mouse. He'd either do better through the traffic, or I would do better, and we'd always end up back in the same kind of same gap again. So this was one piece of action. So there goes Andrew Windmill making his comeback after his pit stop and winner's penalty. And as we get into turn 1, we can see one of the guys being lapped, spins in front of us. And again, I can see the car going left, going right, going left, going right. So I have to back right off there, try and avoid the inevitable T-bone. But yeah, it feels like there's always a spinner in front of you at some point during a 40-minute race. You need to be kind of ready to deal with that. So there's me getting lapped by the eventual race winner. I'm not sure if it was just the 2 Simpsons, whether it was just the son or both of them. But yeah, those cars are just set up so well. They go past you, and you just can't believe the grip and power they've got. So this is coming up to, again, the other Odell that I overtook before. So there's a lot of traffic on this lap. So there goes one of the STs, and now I'm coming up to Miles in the 106. And again, you're just trying to think a few corners ahead. Like, I know I can't do it at red gates. I know I've probably got a bit more power down the hill, so do I go left, do I go right? He's sticking to the left, so he's going to force me wide. And it's just tricky. I mean, if I lose the back end there, I'm going to spear into the side of him. It's just not worth it. So I just have to wait until the bottom of the hill, because I know I can get on the curb and just power through and he'll see me coming. But again, I've still got this battle going on right behind me, so all that time it's kind of, you're half looking forwards, half looking backwards. And with this Hyundai, I know I've just got to get the job done into this corner rather than wait and do it on the power. So go for a little bit of a late lunge there, but again, I know there's a big fat curb on the inside that you can use. Although that kicked me out quite a lot, like right to the edge of the track, and you think, if I'd gone in just a little bit hotter, there's a big gravel trap there, so that was quite close. So we're moving into the later stages here. In fact, I think this could even be, yeah, this is probably the last lap. And I'm actually clock watching at this point, thinking it's a really conflicting feeling, because A, you want to kind of race forever, but B, when you're fighting for position, you want the checkered flag just to come out so that you know that you won the battle that you're in, regardless of what the overall position is. And yeah, I'm just willing myself on at this point. And again, we're coming up to lap the KA. I'm absolutely sweating, and I've got all touring cars there with the flashing of the lights, because I just have not got time to jam on the brakes. Getting quite wide there, doing the same thing as the Hyundai, but yeah, just making sure that one car doesn't kind of ruin 20 minutes of hard work. I'm pretty sure that I'll be getting the checkered flag this final time. Yeah, I can see it up ahead. Yeah, really happy with that. It was a great battle. It's just such a shame that there wasn't more of it on camera looking backwards. And that was it, Donington Park. Really enjoyed that race, and the car was good to go for the following day when we entered Open Series. And I'd like to say join me on the next one, but I don't actually know whether I'm going to be back out with the CSCC this year. I'm down as the 19th reserve for Mallory Park. It's a massively oversubscribed event, so unfortunately, that could be it for this year, unless I look at MSVR Trophy or something like that, maybe at the end of October. But if not, it gives me a nice long winter to fix up my garage, sort the car out, and come back with a much better car next year. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe, as there'll be more videos coming soon.